Welcome back, everyone, to another Eat Speed Live, the most delicious live stream in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
It is DFW Restaurant Week coming up again, the time everybody puts on their calendar, the month of August. It's really, we call it the week, but many restaurants extend it for the entire month of August. They put dinner on special, fine dining specials at restaurants all over Dallas and Fort Worth. You can have a great dinner, three-course dinners, $59, $49, lunches, brunches, $29. And not only is the price cheaper than usual, but 20% of that price goes to the Lena Pope charity in Fort Worth. Or if you're in Dallas, it goes to the North Texas Food Bank. So basically, when you're spending $50 for a dinner that might usually cost you 65 or 70, you're also donating $10 of that to Lena Pope. It's one of the best events of the year. People are on Open Table right now booking reservations for it. And this is really one of the charity events that people look forward to help raise money for Lena Pope, the children's charity in Fort Worth. We have a couple of good Restaurant Week participants with us today. First of all, from Quince Restaurant in Fort Worth, their second year doing Restaurant Week, we have Deb Sneed, one of the co-owners, and Emma Sneed, who's deputy head honcho at Quince. They're talking to us live from the patio at Quince.
Hello.
Is that the Trinity River I hear rushing? Is there a paddle boat passing by? What's all that?
We are right on the Trinity River, and we may or may not have a few fans going in the middle of the afternoon in July.
Well, you all are in your second year doing Restaurant Week, and we're thankful for your support for the Lena Pope charity and for the children and families that receive the services, counseling services, all sorts of family needs met from Lena Pope. Also with us from downtown, Wicked Butcher Steakhouse, locally owned steakhouse. We have Demetrius Anagnostis and Chef Corinne Ellis from Wicked Butcher. Welcome to the Eat Speed Live.
Thank you very much for having us, Bud.
Wicked Butcher has been one of the biggest backers of Restaurant Week, was one of the largest producers last year of charity gifts for Lena Pope. People didn't catch on to Wicked Butcher at first. They know about the big chain steakhouses downtown, the Del Frisco's, the Ruth's Chris, the Capitol Grill, but people didn't know that there was a locally owned steakhouse like this right there in the basement of the Sinclair Hotel. Now people have started to find out about Wicked Butcher. Demetrius or Corinne, talk about Restaurant Week, what it means to you. A lot of people come find their way into the basement.
Well, to us, it's not only an opportunity to give to two great charities, whether you're in Dallas or Fort Worth, such as North Texas Food Bank and Lena Pope, but to give back to our loyal guests who support us throughout the year. It's a great time to get people in seats when it's a generally slow time of year. I believe that's kind of how Restaurant Week started across the nation. I've lived in different markets across the country, and it's always a slower time of year in those markets when Restaurant Week occurs. So for us, it's an opportunity to invite new guests in and bring back old friends that have an ability to enjoy our menu at a discounted price.
I wanted to have you on because you have one of the very best menus I've seen. Dinner is $59. Has the entrees. Steve, I'm not going to get to these in order of the photos, but we're going to get to the entrees like the cauliflower soup or the steak tartare. And then the second course is the Chilean sea bass, which was one of the best sea bass I've had in town. Or the filet of ribeye, you have those on the menu. And then you have that chocolate tart. Why don't you flip through some of those photos and show people some of the Wicked Butcher food? And let's see if we can have the name that food game with the Wicked Butcher folks.
Cauliflower soup.
We have Parmesan crisp and a brown butter reduction.
Braised tenderloin.
So we serve that with homemade pita. Berkshire pork chop with an apple compote and a 5-onion melange. And then in the bottom left, you'll see our homemade popover.
That popover is really memorable. That's really striking when people try that popover.
Yeah, and that's served with a rosemary honey butter that's been dusted with a green onion ash. That's my favorite thing on the entire menu. That's our chocolate tart. If you're a Reese's fan, you can't go wrong. House-made peanut butter mousse, dark chocolate ganache, almond flour crust.
Solid, delicious chocolate.
Our sea bass. It has yellow curry on the bottom, cashews, and our white rice. Lime crema on top.
And then that's the steak we're probably most known for. That's our dry aged ribeye. We do dry aging in house, so you'll see that on the restaurant week menu this year, served with chili marble potatoes and a butter.
That steak, that's a 16-ounce ribeye, and it's
It
on the
is.
restaurant week menu for $59 with 2 other courses.
Yeah, that's our
amazing.
normal. We did all normal portion sizes. We want to make the menu as indicative as possible, and the goal is to raise as much money as possible. We'd like to get as many people in the restaurant as possible for this deal. And then a filet mignon steakhouse classic that has a lobster butter on top.
People are wondering, Wicked Butcher is in the basement of the Sinclair Hotel. That's 412 Main Street, 512 Main Street downtown.
Yes, sir.
It's just a block south of Sundance Square in what used to be the Sinclair Building, the beautiful old Art Deco building that's been renovated into an autograph collection hotel. Now, you all have another project working the top floor. Everybody wants to know about when we can go back on the rooftop of the Sinclair.
We do. We've been renovating since the first of the year. We're going to turn it into a project called Nikuya, which is going to be a year-round sushi bar with all 90% outdoor seating, but we've converted the bar area itself into a sushi bar with 10 seats, and we'll have a small cocktail bar in there as well.
I want to try to get to the Quince folks before they wash us away here, but at the with the river sound on the side. But you all have your second restaurant week. What was it like last year being a brand new restaurant and having all the restaurant week crowds?
It was super exciting. Restaurant Week is something we've been doing as a family for years. It's always fun to get to do all these special dinners, try out new restaurants. And that's really what it brought for us. Not only is it a way to give back to the community in Lena Pope, but we saw so many new faces and made so many more friends in the community that didn't know we were back here, kind of tucked back on the river. So it was a great opportunity for us. Super special to be able to give such a big value to our regular customers. So it's a lot of fun. Like you said, during what's normally a little bit slower time, it gives us the time to really focus on new faces.
We're talking with Deb Sneed and Emma Sneed from Quince, Quince, Quince. It's on River Run in the West End Shopping Center. Someone's car alarm isn't going off, I hope.
That would be the train across the river.
Of course, the Forest Park train. The little train is coming by to say hello to the Eat Speed Live audience. Well, I wish you had the phone on a pivot to show it, but don't disturb that. We're doing pretty well.
Don't touch the phone. Don't touch the phone.
I want you all to go ahead and it was pretty easy for me to label Wicked Butcher and say steakhouse. How do you describe Quince for someone who hasn't come to Quince? How do you describe it?
So Quince originated in San Miguel, Mexico, where we used to live as a family. It's a global kitchen. So basically what that means, our chefs, they travel to all of these culinary cities all over the world, like Lima, Peru, Mexico City, New York City, New Orleans, and they kind of get ideas from those trips. Our menu is constantly changing, so it's a lot of fun. But our goal is that we have something that everyone can enjoy or everyone is in the mood for.
It really is in a beautiful location in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And the original Quince, the name is because it was number 15 on the street there near the beautiful old historic cathedral in San Miguel, which is one of the destination cities in the world, a little mountaintop city a couple hundred miles northwest of Mexico City. You've kind of taken some of that spirit and brought it to the banks of the Trinity River. Instead of a rooftop, you have this open air patio along the river and this very drowsy feeling that you just kind of drift away when you sit out there on the Quince patio.
Totally. A lot of people tell me it feels like they're on vacation, not in Fort Worth, when they're on this patio. So
and there is a Quince in Austin too, we should add. Now the Quince menu, $59. Again, that's every night through August 31st. The entrees on the dinner menu: roast chicken, roast salmon, or an ahi pepper risotto. That comes with an entree like the lamb dumplings, shrimp or Caesar, and then the really good baklava cheesecake or the flourless chocolate cake. That's the main menu. That's the dinner menu. There is a upscale menu for Quince and Restaurant Week. Quince has a $99 chef's experience. It's a 4-course dinner with nigiri and the melon salad and a New York strip and the cakes. So you get a little bit of the something from the sushi menu there. And then the Quince's brunch is very popular. So you have lunch and brunch, $29. And the brunch, the chilaquiles and eggs with chicken and steak, that's a great deal on the brunch. So what do you see on the menus that you want people to be sure and try?
I think for me, the ahi pepper risotto is one of my favorite things on the menu. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. The risotto is infused with a Peruvian ahi pepper, has a wonderful flavor, and then it's topped with a steak lomo mixture. It has roasted tomatoes, onions. It's absolutely my favorite thing on the menu. I always tell the customers it's my death row meal.
And now have we already shown the photos? So you want to tell us what these photos are if you can see them?
Well,
Yes, the risotto on the right, that's going to be the ahi pepper risotto that I'm raving
Beautiful.
about. And then on the other side, that's going to be our blackened chicken chopped salad. Also one of my favorites, super refreshing, great for summer.
On the lunch menu.
On the lunch menu. And then our rock shrimp, that's going to be one of our house favorites. Comes in a spicy aioli over a citrus salad. And then that's going to be our Caesar salad with our roasted salmon, also another house favorite. And then our steak and eggs, that's going to be on our brunch menu. It's wonderful. It comes with a hash brown on the bottom, smashed avocado, a French omelet, and then a 5-ounce filet.
If
That's
Brian
steak
was
and
here,
eggs?
he would say that was his favorite.
100%.
Now that's on the regular brunch menu, but it's not on the restaurant week menu, I don't think. But
It is also on the restaurant. Steak and eggs. It's also
Okay.
on the brunch menu.
Okay. All I have is chilaquiles. Okay, go ahead.
And then that's going to be our nigiri sampler. It comes with 5 different nigiris. We have a truffle, a spicy tuna, chimichurri, and a roasted jalapeno. And then our chef's special for that month is going to be a torched salmon nigiri. It's wonderful.
Those are beautiful.
Thank you. And that's going to be our flourless chocolate cake. It melts in your mouth. It's amazing.
These are probably 2 of the best chocolate cakes in town. I've had the chocolate cake here and in San Miguel de Allende, and it's stunning. And of course, the chocolate cake at Wicked Butcher's, the best chocolate cake downtown and maybe the best chocolate cake in town. So the chocolate tart at Wicked Butcher. Both of you, what options do you have for vegetarians? So that in case someone's watching who wants to know about that or is eating lighter, what vegetarian options are there?
So we have our summer melon salad on our signature experience menu. It's wonderful. It's a special for this summer. Comes with goat cheese, toasted prosciutto, melon. We also have our Caesar salad, which is great. And then our yakimeshi bowl. It's like a hibachi fried rice. We do it with broccolini, edamame, carrots. It's really a great option for vegetarians as well. And then our chilaquiles are vegetarian as well. You can do 2 fried eggs on top of there. It's absolutely perfect for brunch.
Corinne, do you make a special plate if someone wants a vegetarian meal, or what do you have at Wicked Butcher?
Yeah, we do. So we have an asparagus risotto. And I also do like a vegetable medley with pasta if someone wants like that.
Okay, and they can do that on the restaurant week too if they choose.
Absolutely. And the cauliflower soup's vegetarian and obviously desserts and things like that as well.
Wicked Butcher's really good at giving people what they ask for. I noticed the special orders and special requests. Y'all have been really helpful. Tell me about Restaurant Week in general and the kind of support that comes in and the kind of what it means to support Lena Pope and in Dallas. I have to explain, the North Texas Food Bank is really the Dallas Food Bank. There's a separate food bank that serves Tarrant County, and that's why the Tarrant County restaurants support Lena Pope Children's Charity. So that's the reason we talk about Lena Pope over here. But talk a little bit about Restaurant Week and your experiences and what it's meant to you. What do you see coming in when you see these people?
We see people looking for a night out, a more approachable night out for us. We understand we're not a neighborhood bistro. We're not going to be an everyday or a once a week type of restaurant. And so during Restaurant Week, we have that ability to broaden our fan base with folks in Fort Worth and Dallas. And then at the same time, like I said earlier in the pod, give back to such great charities that we have. We raised almost $15,000 between both locations last year for the two various charities.
Sensational. You should describe your restaurant, because I think people have walked by and peeked in the window of the breakfast lunch cafe upstairs, and they think, well, that doesn't look very special. So
No.
describe what people don't see.
So when you walk into the dining room, or we walk into the bar, it's the lobby bar of the Sinclair Hotel is essentially what it is. And that's where we do our breakfast and lunch service. And then we're open in that area till midnight every night, Monday through Sunday. But our host stand is right in front of a grand staircase that takes you downstairs into a really elegant basement. There's skylighting from Main Street and 5th Street, does open up the room some. And we have a completely open style kitchen to the point where you can reach across the counter and shake the chef's hands as they're preparing your meal. Not that I advise anybody to.
And you're actually talking from the private room today?
We're talking from the private room, Bud. If you're looking at our standout kitchen, it's to the right of the kitchen, or it was directly on the opposite side of the dining room for where you were dining with us during the Clyburn.
Okay. Steve, I've just babbled on here. What would you like to know about Restaurant Week?
Well, I love going to Restaurant Week. It's for me, it's to try out restaurants that I might want to go back to for a special occasion a lot of times, because a lot of times it's not an everyday. A lot of times these aren't everyday type restaurants that you go because they're so expensive. But with the Restaurant Week, you get to sample a little bit of stuff, and the really good examples of ones that if they sometimes Restaurant Week, I find some of the places maybe skimp a little on the menu since it's cheaper, and there's other places that give you like full portions and stuff, and so I definitely say go look at the menu first before you go to someplace, and that's the reason why we chose y'all two, because your menus really look really good. And
I can tell you right now, I'm going to Kent's as soon as it's.
I'm getting a steak.
Yeah, we'll be
You're gonna see it for sure.
And
so
another place that everybody
knows.
wants to go is Rise Souffle. Rise is $49. It's the special souffle restaurant in Clear Fork. You can get you get one of their nice salads or soups for an appetizer. Their marshmallow soup. You can get a savory souffle and then a chocolate souffle, or you could get a nice ahi tuna and then a chocolate souffle, or their creme brulee. Rise Souffle is another don't miss for me. All the prime steakhouses do this. So if you are interested in going to try, if you've never been to Wicked Butcher, B&B Butchers, the chains like Del Frisco's, Max on Main and Grapevine, if you Keller Chop House, if you've never been to some of these restaurants, you've always wondered what they're like. This is a time you can go look around and give it a try. There's a list of more than 30 restaurants on the Lena Pope Home website. If you look under, it's under how to support or something like that, and there's a list there of DFW Restaurant Week, or there's a big DFW Restaurant Week website that'll list the more than 30 restaurants in Fort Worth, or then more than 100 restaurants overall across Dallas and Fort Worth. Is there anything else to mention, you all? Our guests today, I should thank everybody again. Demetrius Adinastis from Wicked Butcher and Chef Corin Ellis from Wicked Butcher in the basement of the Sinclair Hotel, 512 Main. $59 for dinner at Wicked Butcher. A fantastic deal during Restaurant Week the whole month of August. Same for Quince, $59 for dinner at Quince. If you've looked at Quince online and said, well, that looks like too much, this is a time to go try the menu items and see what you like and see the experience and enjoy it. $59 for dinner at Quince, $99 for a special deluxe dinner, or $29 for a lunch or brunch any day. They're open every day. So Deb Sneed and Emma Sneed from Quince, 1701 River Run in West Bend, two of the best looking menus on DFW Restaurant Week. Thank you all. Any other thoughts?
No, thanks for including us. Appreciate it.
The train ought to be coming back through any time.
Well, just about 5 minutes.
It's gonna say goodbye.
When do you have the rope walker across the river again? That was a spectacle. You had a tightrope walker across the river.
Back. He was a big hit, and we can't wait for him to come back. He's pretty busy in San Miguel this time of year.
He is.
I know that this isn't something that the Sinclair would do from the rooftop, but Quince had a
They've
tightrope
got the
walker.
perfect spot up there.
He
It's only
walks from
17 floors.
I don't know if
he
Adair
walk
would be up for that one.
he walks from roof to roof between the buildings in San Miguel, several stories up. I think it's 5 stories up, and then here he actually walks a tightrope across the Trinity River. It's a real spectacle. Well, thank
We
you all
live
for
stream it here, so you can see it.
Thank you all for celebrating Restaurant Week. Thank you all for being part of Fort Worth and supporting the Lena Pope Charity, the North Texas Food Bank in Dallas. Thank you both, and we want everybody get out and have a good time. If you've been home too long in August, get out and enjoy dinner, enjoy lunch, enjoy restaurants in Fort Worth and Dallas. Until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.